Guys, thank you so much for joining me today. I wanted to do a review and demo on Rihanna's Fenty Beauty. I know this is very long overdue, and everybody else out there has already done a review, but I hope you guys find this interesting. So Fenty Beauty is by Rihanna, and this is, to me, the very first celebrity line, or even celebrity endorsement that I think really has been well thought out. All of her products are things that I think real girls around the world would actually use. And I love that all of her products seem to be towards mattifying and helping with oil, which is what I really struggle with. So it seems very realistic in all of those ways. And if you guys notice in the demo, when I do the demo with my foundation, I'm wearing something completely different. It's because I filmed this video over 2 different days because my camera died and other things happened. But anyway, let's go ahead and get into it. So the first product I want to talk to you guys about is the Fenty Beauty Pro Filter Primer. This is meant to mattify your skin, leave your skin looking poreless. Loved the texture of this. It's very tacky. It goes on like a lotion and it leaves that tackiness behind that makes you think that your foundation on top of it will really latch onto it and mattify and stay that way. Unfortunately, you guys will see in my demo as well, I did a test where half of my face had the primer, half of it did not. And unfortunately, the side that did not have the primer ended up lasting longer and staying matte longer than the side that did. So didn't end up liking this. Then I also got this little sponge, which I know sounds ridiculous. I'm just a huge beauty blender advocate, love it, believe in it. But I had heard really good things about it, so I bought it and I really do like it. The biggest reason is that I think that this is the closest dupe to an actual beauty blender. When you wet it, it becomes a lot bigger. And it has that like texture and silkiness of the Beauty Blender, which no other sponge has been able to do in my opinion. Second of all, I know people did not like the fact that one side of it was flat, but I really did because I liked that side to pat on my foundation. I think that this foundation does better with patting than with rubbing, so it helped with that. And then it also does have this side if you do want to use it like a normal Beauty Blender. On top of that, this little area of the sponge that is cut off, I thought was perfect to get under your eye. It really helps you go in that shape, in that direction, which I thought was great. So I really do like this sponge. Then I did try the matchsticks. I don't have them with me any longer because I did not end up liking them. So the matchsticks are these little tiny concealers, highlighters, contours that all are magnetic, that stick together, which is very cool. They have a crazy shade range. I think it's like 40 colors. So if you want to highlight, contour, bronze, all of that, you're covered. The things I didn't like about it was I felt like the texture was really waxy and it was hard to move around on your skin. Once it would settle, it would be really hard to move, and that was my issue, and that's why I didn't end up liking it as much. But lastly, the most important product, which is the Fenty Beauty Pro Filter Foundation. I'm obsessed with her shade range. I think that the colors are so perfect for women of color, because in the darker skin tones you get all the actual colors and undertones that you really need in real life. And it's not a brand that's meant for like really fair-skinned women, where they just throw in a couple of colors towards the end and hope that every darker skinned woman will find something in there. So there's definitely a lot of thought behind it. Besides that, I love the packaging. I think that she really spent a good amount on how beautiful this packaging is. It's got that matte glass sort of look, so it feels expensive, unlike the KK Beauty stuff, which I thought the price tag for what it was, not worth it. Very simple. It comes with a pump, so I love that already. The texture of this foundation is very thin, and that's what I was really surprised about. When I applied it on my hand, I'm like, wait, this is so thin, how is this gonna have coverage? But it really has amazing coverage. I would say it's medium coverage, but the good thing about this foundation is that you can really layer to get the coverage that you want. I'm sort of breaking out around here, so I've layered it twice in this area, and I think that it still looks good. I think the biggest thing about this foundation is that it has this tendency to dry darker than what it looks like in here. So due to that, I would go one shade lighter than your real skin tone. So this foundation, I think, is more about undertone than the color, which I think that you have to really think about when you're buying your shade. Which also might leave you looking in areas of the line that you normally wouldn't when you're looking for a foundation. Like, I know for me, whenever I'm looking for any foundation, I look dead in the center, and then I look like 1 or 2 shades to the right towards the darker side, and that's always like where I normally am. For this, it was very similar as well, but I tried 330, which is very warm, and I thought that would be my perfect match. Putting it on, it was perfect, and then it dried, I would say a shade and a half or 2 shades darker, and it didn't give my skin that that brightness. It had a sort of like dull look to my skin, so that's why that didn't end up working out. Then I tried 340, which was very, very red. 350 was very neutral, which I thought I would love, but I think it might have been too neutral for me. I feel like I'm exactly neutral, like equal parts orange, red, equal parts warm. So whenever I try a neutral foundation, I do have to make sure that it doesn't make me look gray and dead, and that one did. 360 was just too dark. So then I thought, okay, my shade is not in this line, what am I gonna do? So I tried 320, which was not the color for me, it was very warm, and then 310. I did not think this was gonna work. When I even bought it, I was like, whatever, you know, this line doesn't have the color for me, it's not gonna work. And I applied it, and the lady at the store also matched me for it, and we both just agreed that was the perfect color. That's what I'm wearing right now. You guys can see it does look a little bit lighter, but I think that's the lighting, and I don't think that's actual foundation. When I'm away from this lighting, it looks very normal. It has that brightness that you always want in a foundation. And I love the way that this sets. It sets completely matte, but it has that like velvety feeling that the Makeup Forever Matte Velvet Plus foundation has. And that was my first foundation find that I thought was revolutionary ever. And that was probably like 6 years ago. This is my second one in terms of texture. I think that the texture is very skin-like. It settles in your skin and doesn't look like you're wearing tons of makeup. And for me, that's very hard. Nothing seems to penetrate my skin to like really soak in and not look like too much makeup. Right now, yes, I do have a lot of makeup going on, so it might not look super natural, but I've also layered it because I just wanted to make sure that you guys were able to see that it can be a full coverage foundation. However, if you want to go really light with it, I think it really does look natural and beautiful and skin-like. I think that its ability to control oil is very good as well. I've been noticing that when I go primerless, like I am right now, my skin tends to produce less oil than when I'm wearing a primer, which has been the greatest find of my life recently. And this goes for this foundation as well, so I'm really testing out the actual foundation to see what it feels like, and I've been loving it. So this has been an awesome foundation, you guys. I've been loving it. I really think that you guys should be able to find your color in here. You might have to like look to the left or to the right of wherever you normally are. Think about your undertone more than anything else with this foundation, and wear it around for a full day so you can see it in different types of light and you can see it set and all of that type of stuff. So I have nothing but the best things to say about this foundation. If you guys want to see how I applied this and what I did, then please keep watching. I'm starting off with the primer. As you guys can see, it has a lotion-like appearance and texture, just rubbing it in like you normally would. It's very lightweight and has a tacky sort of feeling to it, and I'm getting it on one side of my face so I can show you guys the difference between when you do apply it versus when you don't. Then I'm going in with my colored corrector from LA Girl. This is just the orange. I use the applicator and apply it just to the areas that I have hyperpigmentation, so that's around my chin area. And then I go in with a brush just to blend it out because you don't want the orange to be very pigmented. Then I'm going in with the foundation, color 310. As you guys can see, it's very silky and lightweight. On the side that I have the primer, I'm applying this with the Fenty Beauty sponge. And as you guys can see, I am doing a rubbing, dabbing type of motion like I would with the Beauty Blender. And nothing too different, just going in lightly, going into under my eye, up to my temples, etc. I have a breakout on the left side of my face, so I went ahead and added a little bit more foundation in that area. As you guys can see, the foundation is looking very light here, but it will set to look like a normal skin color. And then because my nose has a lot of pores, I like to go back with a brush and just blend out those areas because a beauty sponge will never be able to do that by itself. Then on the other side of my face, I'm going in with my Sigma Beauty Sigmax, or what is it called, FX brush. And I'm just going to go ahead and blend like you would like any other foundation. Going over the area with the colored corrector up to my temples again. And in the center of my forehead, right above my eyebrows. As you guys can see, this is what it looks like right after I've applied it. And here's what it looks like once it has set and the rest of my makeup has come on. So you guys can see it has changed color a little bit. It's gotten a bit darker, and now it looks like my perfect shade. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope this was informative and helpful to you. And if you guys have already tried the foundation and really have been enjoying it or anything else from the line, please let me know. I would love to hear your feedback. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the subscribe button, and don't forget to follow me on Instagram. It is Makeup by Megha, and I will talk to you guys soon. Bye.